things they don't teach you in Counter-Strike schools. Although there are not many CS schools out there, here you will see ideas that aren't probably the first things they would teach there. I try to be original and not repeat the same common tips and tricks over and over again, so if you want and need some common knowledge like make sure you work on your crosshair placement, then feel free to find a better video for that. As always, my videos tend to be a little more creative than that and include stuff that is yet unspoken. We're gonna start off with more of a psychology thingy. The higher the level, the less you see it. But at low-mid ranks, teammates tend to help or fool enemy team by saying where their remaining players are. If you clearly see that the chemistry in this team is already bad, team kills are coming in, they whine about each other publicly, then sadly it's 99% sure that the info they give is very accurate. They just want to ruin the game, piss off their teammates even more, and get it done as quickly as possible. Now when enemy team is doing fine, and there have been no signs about toxicity in their team, but still one of them is saying a possible position like A ramp, then almost always it's a lie. They actually write it because they try to shuffle the cards a bit and they are bored, because their teammate went for a longer flank. So let me visualize you what I just said. Let's say it's 3v1 situation on Mirage, CT's got rid most of the T's and the only guy remaining was spotted at A ramp as well. 15 seconds goes by, no one seems to be A ramp, but someone from enemy team tries to bait and says a random callout, let's say he says A ramp. Actually, whatever callout they say in this case scenario, usually it means they have moved away from the original position and they are doing a longer flank. Teammates who spectate all this get bored because they know that there's no action incoming in the near future and want to do something, so they write a random callout. Now it isn't a certain rule, but for me in matchmaking it's 80% of the times exactly the case. And if you ask how could you capitalize on that as a CT, leave two guys still guard A, but let one guy quickly cut off the B rotation with a great surprise position. Then you get quick info with footsteps. That's crucial to not to let enemy team get a plant. Remember, when they write a callout, their teammate is most likely in a position where they can't see action within the next 8 to 10 seconds. Of course, there are rare occasions when enemy has actually sneaked behind you, ready with a knife, and then they troll in the chat. Or they say his actual position out loud, but usually it's not the case. I hope this little psychology tip helps you out next time. Good luck! Next up, an idea that helps you understand wallbangs a little better. I have seen a lot of people shooting the walls without knowing about the possible damage they could deal there. People are shooting metal walls with pistols and stuff. It's not CS 1.6. Sometimes I wish it was, but it's not. Wallbangs in CSGO work differently, and I want you to understand that the first material decides how much damage goes through it. For example, this Dust 2 corner is not bangable through the stone here. Still, when you manage to get the angle right and shoot it through the wooden box, it's nicely doable. Also on train, when you want to try your luck to T-side house there, you should aim for the spots where you hit the wood first, not the regular wall. Both materials let the bullet through, just the damage is way better when you find easier materials to shoot through. Although there are some decent safe wallbang lineups that could be very useful and grant you simple frags, in CSGO, wallbangs don't do that much damage, but they are very practical for the info. Shoot a couple of bullets through the wall, don't go for the damage, just if you hear someone got hurt, then you know there's an enemy and you have a nice peeker's advantage to get a kill. Simple as that. For those common annoying camping corners like that, I would suggest you to go for an info wallbang more often. It could save you some rounds. Alright, let's talk about toxic people and how to deal with them. Feel free to watch one of my previous videos with a toxic guy in-game in the right top corner of the video afterwards. When you have been playing matchmaking at least 5 to 15 games, you know what I'm talking about. There are lots of toxic players. Some of them are impossible to deal with. Whatever you try to talk with them, they won't change. But I have found one magical cure that tends to work with a great success rate. Just stay calm, listen to the toxic guy, don't try to teach him anything, and drop him a weapon. Yep, you heard right. It may sound absurd, because usually those guys are not that good as well, but just to keep your team chemistry up, be friendly, avoid arguments, and try to add some positivity into them by dropping them a weapon. Believe me, it works more often than you could imagine. And since CSGO is a team game, if you could maintain the team chemistry, you could bottom frag yourself but still win, because your team will do everything for you. So stop carrying, learn how to get the best out from your teammates, and enjoy your easy rank up. let's talk about the after-plant situations, and especially at the very end of the rounds where a bomb explodes. The more you have played the game, the better you know different spots where you could survive when the bomb explodes. But there's a huge but. It all depends on the exact bomb location. For example, here on train, you could easily stay alive with only 24 HP damage in pop when bomb is planted backside. But you would have been dead if it was planted for pop. It's a question of in-game meters. By the way, if bomb is planted at the very corner of the A bomb site on Inferno, there is no Dosia nade needed, you just can't survive it in this pit corner. Super G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take more out from your nades. You could use your decoys and smokes as a flash and peek with them. When enemy knows you will be coming out from T main in a sec, you could right click throw your smoke, get the attention and use it for a quick peek. Maybe you catch someone with your back, maybe not, but afterwards you still have the same smoke covering you. With a peek like that, you get more out from the same smoke grenade. Although lower ranks may not even react to this, mid and high ranked players would try to dodge the flash and you could get an easy kill while peeking with a nade like so. It's a nice 2-in-1. Keep that in mind. It's CSGO and it has its weaknesses. Sadly, one of them is nade inconsistency. Let's have a look at one of those clips.
In spawn, but put the extra one in coils.
Yeah, actually, I think the flashes right now in the Inferno meta are a little bit lacking, to be honest.
They are. No, they are, because you have a lot of like these like.
What? How'd that guy live?
Because the game is broken, right? There's so many times
Triggered.
that
So
people,
triggered.
people do not get flashed or naded because there's a staircase.
And it's only one of those very bad examples. When nade explodes behind an edge, it does close to 0 damage to the enemy who is very close to the nade but on the other side of the object. What you could do with this info, you could try to nade more out in the open if possible. Ultimatic did nothing wrong when he naded Ninja like that, but a better nade would have exploded more out in the open, not that close to the boxes, because it could always go behind the box corner like it did. Just a small detail to pay attention to. I know it's hard to remember it in the heat of the moment, but try your best. Next up, a very universal idea that needs to be known on every map and in every situation. Always peek to the right. Higher ranks should already know it, but it's just how CSGO player models are designed. The camera on player's model is not centralized but shifted a bit more towards right. Now if you peek to the right, you have a great advantage against your enemy, because you see him first. This is why in the next clip, it's almost impossible for Simple to see, react and get a kill onto Kenny S. Kenny is peeking to the right and therefore has an advantage in this situation. Super general. It's just how this game is designed. As I said earlier, CSGO is a team game. When you queue with 5 friends, matchmaking and all external platforms like Faceit try to match you with another 5 guys pre-made. But to keep the queue times low, often it doesn't work out and you may get a solo/duo queue enemies. It means that they don't know each other yet and their communication, which is a huge part of CS, is probably bad. When you queued with 5 of your friends that you know well and you could communicate to each other against solo queuing same level opponents, on the paper, it should be an easy win for you. Try to abuse their potentially poor communication and execute fakes. Easy 3A with full nades, 2B with the bomb. Smokes are important, also let 3 guys go out A and try to get the entry to self-fake even deeper. If their calls are simple and sloppy, they see 3 smokes A and defenders already call it's full A rush, please rotate, then you will pretty much have some free rounds. Very easy stuff. Now one very map related tip, but if you want to show your friends a knife kill on cash CT side, make sure you have the best spawn possible, run to Squeaky and get yourself into this corner. If anyone will come here, he most likely won't be checking this corner and you get an easy knife kill. Also Simple managed to do it successfully with the first try on his live stream. There are more similar positions like that. For example, overpass, you could get a knife kill if someone wants to get up con. Feel free to be sneaky and try some of those spots out. Alright, if you didn't know yet, then one of my favorite toys in this game are Mulatos. And if you're smart enough, you could deal damage through the floors. Feel free to find your own ways where to use it. Damage is exactly the same as it would be on the regular ground. No difference at all. I know most of those spots are situational, but the more situations you could play, the better. Be smart, obtain skills, subscribe to my channel, and when you finally win the major, make sure to shout on the stage, "I love you, NadeKing." I will be waiting.